I'm Val. We're going to do some yoga work that will see you working into your upper body and into your abdominal muscles, your tummy muscles. We're going to be spending a little time in cat posture, which means being on our hands and knees, and then we'll be working into plank and boat posture. You may require something under your knees, such as a little blanket or a block. If you know you suffer with your knees, the idea is the blanket or the block goes underneath the shins, giving the knees a little space to move into. You might also find if you suffer and can't bring the tops of the feet flat to the floor, that you want something under the floor for support. So yoga teachers often have a lot of props to support their students and their needs. Another thing is wrist supports. These are a little more specialist. I've got a multitude here. So there's individual ones, there's long ones, and that's cork or made of foam. So if you struggle to get the wrist at 90 degrees, the idea is the wedge goes under the palm so that you create less of an angle at the wrist. Again, you could modify at home by rolling up a soft blanket, for example, or a hand towel, even a flannel, and creating yourself something to support the hand and reduce this angle through the wrist. We'll also be looking at working onto forearms, and boat posture means our tailbone is going to be down to the mat. Let's start by taking a moment to become here and now. Find yourself a comfortable sitting position. Think about releasing those sitting bones down into the mat, adjusting your pelvis so it's nice and square. Sitting up tall, so a little lift of the rib cage away from the hips and lengthening through the spine. Head nice and level, shoulders relaxing. If you're comfortable, eyes closed, breathing in and out through the nose. Becoming here and now, bringing your focus into your body. Breathe in, creating height. And as you breathe out, soften all of your muscles, let go. So we keep that height in the spine. We feel that we're opening as we breathe in. And letting go of any tension and tightness as we breathe out. Head nice and centered, chin level. Relaxing and releasing through the jaw and through the shoulders. Breathing in, creating space, and out to release. Relaxing through your arms, releasing through your legs. Sitting nice and tall. Really bringing your focus into your body. And then we'll move into our cat position. So coming onto your hands and your knees. Taking any support you need. And really paying attention to this cat position. Knees under hips. Tops of the feet relaxing if you can. Wrists directly under shoulders. Really placing the palm of the hand down into the mat and spreading those thumbs and fingers wide. Middle finger facing forwards. Spreading the weight through those hands. Have a sense that your back is nice and flat. A little bit of tone through those tummy muscles. And you're looking at a point just in front of your hand. Feeling that your spine is nice and flat. When you're ready, release the belly down towards the mat. We're not pushing the hips to the ceiling. We're allowing the pelvis to tilt as the belly drops down towards the mat. And we begin to lift the gaze so that the chest comes through the arms a little. So we should be hollowed through our back, stretching the front of the body. When you're ready, drawing your chin in towards your chest, turning your tailbone under, arching high through the centre of the spine. We're going to move through our flat back position to relax and release the belly down and look forwards once more. This is really about creating the mobility through your spine, moving into your arch. You can play with your breath in cat. You might want to breathe in as you release the belly and look forwards. Breathing out as you move into an arch, tail tucking over, under, chin drawing in, belly lifting into that spine. We should have a sense that the weight is nice and balanced between the hands and the knees as we work that spine, warming the muscles, creating as much movement as we can. In yoga, we like to work balanced, so we're going to end with that arched position, moving to our flat back. We're just going to do a little bit of extra work into those hands and wrists. Can you walk your fingers in towards each other? And we're seeing how far round we can turn those fingers. You might be able to turn them to face in towards your knees. Have a moment stretching that way. And then we can walk the hands away from each other so they come through our forward position to walk away. And again, it depends on you as to how far round those fingers are going to come. Opening the wrists. Then we'll bring our hands back to that neutral position. And we're going to have a little stretch through each leg in turn. So stretch one leg away. You want the toes down to the mat. I'm just making sure you can see where that is. So the toes are down to the mat and we're stretching through the heel. Opening the back of the leg, getting a stretch into the calf muscle, into the Achilles, working on those toes. Bring that knee in and then stretch the other leg away. So the toes all come down to the mat. You stretch through that heel, stretching the leg away. Lengthening through that leg. And then we can bring the knee in. So we're going to start by working onto our plank posture on our hands. So do spread those hands, those fingers as much as you can so that you're really getting a good handprint down onto your mat. Stretch one leg away so that you're on your toes. Try and keep your hips low and take the other foot back to join. So we want to have those arms upright if we can, shoulders directly over wrists. Think of stretching from the top of your head to your tail, having all the toes on the mat if you can manage it, having a little bit of tone through that tummy, holding those hips level. How long you're able to or wish to stay here is down to you. Plank posture tones the tummy muscles. We can really lengthen. And of course, we're working on support through those wrists, strengthening through those wrists, hands, upper body. Try not to allow the chest to sink down down between the shoulders. Try and keep slightly lifted out of the shoulder. Likewise, we don't want to come to here. We want to have those hips level, nice flat line. Now it depends on you. You might be comfortable lowering knees, hips, tummy, or you might want to bring those knees in. So whichever way you want to work. If If you're coming down onto your tummy, we can take our hands back to the rib cage to push back into our cat and into our swan posture for a relax on those tummy muscles. Of course, if you're coming straight into cat, you'll release bottom straight back towards those heels, forehead down to the mat. Take a bit of weight off those wrists and just allow those hands to be free. So that's our plank directly onto our hands. We're going to try onto outer edge of forearm. Now, when we go down on the mat, the hands will come to here. Okay, so I don't have enough space to show you straight on here, but we come into our cat again. I'm going to make sure I've got enough room to lengthen behind. We bring our elbows down to where our wrists were. See if we can hold hand to opposite forearm. Bring the fingers to interlock in front. Now there's going to be a lot of pressure down on those little fingers, so you might want to steeple the little fingers. I'm not quite sure where it's best to show. Steeple the little fingers or slide them in so one hides behind the other. So if I do my cat, elbows down, hold forearms, hands come in front and interlink, and find a comfortable position for those little fingers. Trying to keep the body weight forwards over those forearms. So the forearms are down into the mat. Take one leg behind on the toes. All of the toes touching down. Take the other to join. Try not to sink through those hips. Try and keep lifted through those hips and lift the chest out. So we're not down between them shoulders. We're lifting up through the chest, through the back of the body. Lengthening from the top of the head to the heels. Breathing. Try not to hold your breath. Try and work the body so it's lifted and lengthening. Now again, it's down to you how long you want to stay here and which way you come out of the position. So we might be drawing the knees in to bring our bottom back towards our heels, and this time we can go into swan. Hands back by the heels, forehead tucking down towards the mat. So in our child posture, we're nicely curled, we're in a forward bend, and the weight's all removed from those arms. And we steadily uncurl. Because we've worked through our shoulders, this way we're going to open through the chest. So we're going to have a little look at our Gomukhasana arm posture. Taking one hand between the shoulder blades. So we want the back of the hand to the body, palm outwards. Stretch the other arm to the ceiling, bend at the elbow and see if those fingertips will come together. Try to keep that upper elbow back and you're nice and upright. Opening through the chest, opening through those shoulders. Then we'll change to the other side. Back of the hand comes up between the shoulder blades, arm stretches to the ceiling, we bend at the elbow, see if those fingertips will come together. Lift the elbow, the upper elbow, keep the head straight in the centre, opening through the chest. Good. And when you're ready, you can release out. Maybe those shoulders need a little wriggle. And now we're going to go into our dolphin posture. So this is forearms down and then the hips lift. It's going to work that upper body again. Dolphin is a precursor for going into a headstand. So bring yourself into your loose cat position. Bring the elbows down where the hands will have been. Check that you can reach your forearms, interlock your fingers, find a comfortable position for the little finger. Turn your toes under, and lift those hips, the bottom to the ceiling. Try and lift out of the shoulders, so it's like dog posture, but we're on the forearms. Hips are lifted, heels are stretching down to the mat. Try and lift out away from the shoulders. Don't allow your head to collapse towards the mat. Breathing, lengthening. Weights into those forearms, trying to encourage those legs to stretch. So again, it's up to you how long you're here. Remember, you're in an inversion, head's lower than heart. And whenever you're ready, drawing those knees down to the tummy. And if you want to go back into child posture again, bring forehead down, bottom towards heels, hands back towards your feet. And just spend a moment there. If you don't like child posture, think about bringing those knees in front and having a hug in. Because we are going to bring ourselves round to sitting to have a little work into our boat posture. So boat posture is balancing on the bottom. If you know that you have a bony tailbone, you might want to put some padding underneath your bottom. You might want to not work into this position at all. But it's important that we try and sit up on those sitting bones and don't roll back through the pelvis. We can do a supported position with the hands to the mat, drawing those knees in. Try to sit tall through the spine and bring your toes up to being level with your eyes. That might be as far as you're going. A little bit of support in those hands. You might want those hands further away. Your hands might be turned out. Okay, we should feel those tummy muscles working, and we're lengthening through the spine. Try not to collapse in your lower back. We want the tummy muscles to be engaged. If you want to work a little harder, stretch those legs away. Okay, I can feel my tummy muscles starting to quiver. When we're ready to come out, we bring the knees in and we can hug into those knees. If you need the space, take the feet apart and hug in this way. So that's working supported with your hands. If you want to try the unsupported position, we find that nice position where we've got the sitting bones down to the mat. We're sitting nice and tall. Have a gentle hug in and see if we can bring those feet off the mat. And again, if we're happy to, we bring those shins to be parallel to the mat. And then can we release the hands? Maybe you can stretch those legs away. Nice and tall through the spine. Breathing. So again, think about engaging those tummy muscles. It's under your control. If you bring the knees in a little, you'll find it's a little easier than having those legs extended, but keep that spine long. When you're ready to come out, hugging into those knees again. It's a position you might want to repeat. It's quite tricky, but it does work those tummy muscles. Keeping tall in the spine and having those legs at a position that works for you. So repeat if you're happy to. Decide, are you going to have hands down to support or are you going to lift the legs from here? Maybe you're going to keep hugged in. Maybe you're not ready to release yet. Maybe we can just experiment taking those hands away. Maybe lengthening. Sitting tall, breathing. Work in the way that's right for you. It's your yoga practice. Whenever you're ready to release, it's a hug in of the knees. So there are a few different movements in yoga that will work with tummy muscles that we all like to work, that will also start to work the upper body. That's an area many of us could do with working into. So we're going to spend a moment relaxing with the breath, sitting tall, feeling open. A few nice deep breaths. I hope you enjoyed working into your boat posture, working into your plank. Taking a nice big in-breath to finish. Releasing as you breathe. Thank you very much. Namaste.